building that's Jobs and Family Services. To my knowledge, they really don't have a whole lot that talks about who she was or recognizes her role in the abolition movement, the feminist movement, and the like. And here's this woman who was born, right, as a slave and treated poorly and fought for her freedom and came to Akron and spoke at what was a major women's rights convention. The first one was in 1848 in Seneca Falls, but 3 years later there were other women's rights conventions that were more regional in nature, one of which was here in Akron. And she came and extemporaneously gave this talk called Ain't I a Woman? That I have it here if somebody would like to read it, but if not, yeah, okay. That's all right.
Yeah, it was actually a conference that the UUs brought.
It took place, of course not there, but it was the Unitarian, Unitarians and Universalists for a long time were separate, and then they came together. And I think it was Universalists, and I think the actual church was on this block.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then it burned down or something. Okay, here it is. You want to read it?
Ain't I a Woman by Sojourner Truth, delivered 1851 at the Women's Convention in Akron. Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women of the North, all talking about rights, the white men will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that woman need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm, and I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could heed me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head that's, what's this, they call it intellect. That's it, honey. What's that got to do with a woman's rights or Negro's rights? If my cup wouldn't hold but a pint and yours hold a quart, wouldn't you be mean to not let me have my little half measure full? Then the little man in black there, he says women can't have as much rights as men because Christ, it wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again.